Hey, happy Tuesday. David Steele here, back with some more American Truck Simulator. And my voice is not fully recovered from having stage 5 advanced man flu last week, so I may not be doing so much talking as normal, but that's okay. I've got some Zeemods to make up for that. Here's me truck, and here's the boom. So if you've read the title to this video, and I'm going to assume that you have, you will probably have spotted that the soundtrack to this engine today is not the same as the engine I'm using. No, what I've done is I've modelled a marine specification Caterpillar 3208, bit of a mouthful, and put it to the Zeemods Caterpillar 3408 DI engine sound. The reason for this is going to become pretty obvious, at least if you like the sound of diesel V8s. Let's check the map and we're going to pick up some cargo today. Okay, bit of a trek. Going to have to head north, heading into Salina, so I may not keep you along for the whole ride, but we'll see how it goes. I can talk a little bit about the 3208. So, Caterpillar's 3208. Not exactly the most liked of the Caterpillar engine portfolio, let's just say. This engine is known to, it's considered to be, or was considered to be, a throwaway engine. You can rebore it if it needs to be remanufactured or reconditioned, but yeah, not the favourite engine of the Caterpillar portfolio. I'm going to hustle this thing along. I'm going to get it up to speed along the freeway. It's, well, where do I begin? It's a 10-litre class engine, and it's an 8-cylinder. The truck version of this, or the medium-duty truck, has no turbocharger. This one does have a turbocharger. This is based on a marine spec engine with 435 horsepower and just over 1,000 foot-pounds of torque. So that's a lot of power and not that much torque. And of course, you can see why and how it gets its power, because you've got to rev you've got to rev this thing pretty hard. Its governor is at 2,800 RPM, and that's where it produces 435 horsepower. So I'm using a rather short transmission, or final drive, I should say. I'm using a 15-speed today, which is a direct drive with a 433 rear end. So that means at sort of 75, well, I mean, you can see the revs I'm doing. I'll likely not be cruising at 75 today. I don't think I'm going to get up to that speed. I've got plenty of gears, got 15 gears. I'm going to need them, and I'm going to have to rev this thing quite a bit. I'm using this transmission in automated mode. This engine may make it into an engine pack at some point. So I'm just setting up the high gear and the low gear speeds, and the ratios and all that kind of clever stuff, or the gear selection speeds, I should say. Now, one of the problems of the simulation is fuel consumption is modelled on a combination of engine revs and power or torque that you are producing. With this engine really needing to cruise at sort of 2,000 revs or more, fuel consumption from a 10-litre engine is not great. So I'm still tweaking a lot of the internal parameters of this engine. I want to get it to give realistic consumption, but without making it seem forced. Anyway, let's proceed on my way to collect the cargo. Okay, let's go grab the cargo. And I want you to listen to some of the subtleties about this engine now. Alright, that's just hit 32,000 pounds behind me. Let's make like a cheese and roll on out of here. Okay, I want to try and keep this thing rolling. A bit of a gradient coming up. I think I've managed it though. Alright, so far so good. We made it to the interstate. So I'm going to hammer along up this, I guess, acceleration lane, or on-ramp, and let's head north. Okay, now most of this trip's going to be single-lane roads, so I'm likely to skip forward through most of this bit, but maybe something interesting might happen. Who's to say? Well, I was going to skip through most of this, but ATS looks so pretty this time of the day, or this time of early evening, so I guess we'll just go along for the ride. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, I guess that was the 2-lane bit over and done with. Now we have a bit of a mountain pass. You know, all things considered, I'm able to keep this thing going pretty well. That's actually quite handy. It's a little surprising. I mean, with 1,000 foot-pounds of torque, it's not that much, but it's not usual to be stretching an engine over the 2,000 rev point a lot. And here we are using it all of the time. Not having that engine brake, I mean, it keeps the ride quieter for my passengers, but it helps you focus the mind. And so as I tackle this section of the road, it's gonna get dark real quick. A lot of these roads or corners are going to require me to slow down. I'm going to have to use the service brakes for that. So this is not the kind of engine you'd really want to use in your heavy duty truck, because your service brakes will cook and just fall off, shatter. As you can see, I'm being a little bit liberal with what those double yellow lines mean. But it's okay, it's a fairly quiet stretch of road and I'm happy enough. I just know I'm not going to be able to keep this level of progress up. In fact, that was nearly into the barrier. That would ruin my trip. Wouldn't be the first time I've done that on a video either. So, let's just keep Red Thunder humming along. It certainly sounds busy, even though in terms of what I'm asking the engine to do is not that great. And keeping the revs somewhere between sort of 1500 to 2500. I extend it a little bit more during those shifts, but yeah, this thing's going great, so no complaints. It's performing a lot better than I thought it would. I'm going to largely stick to the in-cabin view because this section of the road is technically quite challenging. But later on in the video, I'm sure to try some of the external views, especially the wheel cam and the exhaust cam, well, the backwards looking cameras, because the 3408 has got, well, it's not just one sound sample, and there's something about the Zeemods engineered sound packs where you don't just get a generic engine noise, you get all the different components, the exhaust and the fan and the induction roar and everything else, and they all get blended into one depending on your viewpoint. I love how immersive these engines make the truck sound. The 3408 is not the latest engine, but it sounds, well, an old British expression, It sounds mint. Anyway, I'm going to be quiet for a bit, rest my voice, and I'll be back in a bit. Yeah, I wonder how many weigh stations I get on this trip. My gross vehicle weight is not going to be that high, maybe 70,000 pounds. So it's not as high as it certainly has been.
Never mind. I'll find a new route. Go straight.
Just listen to this exhaust. and back off the power because of another curve. Oops, just dazzled you. Sorry, sir. You're seeing some very clumsy driving here. Now, some of this is trying to both steer and dip my headlights at the same time. I'm going to use the same hand for that, and that's not easy. And mostly, I'm tackling these corners way too quick. I should really screw the nut and just slow down. I've got plenty of time and I've got no excuse. I really don't want to wreck. Feel the power of my V. Oops. Oh. Now, if my dad were watching this video, he would probably tell me, son, you need to read the road. I remember those driving lessons when I was a 17-year-old. Yep, read the road. I didn't read the road. It's just a simulation. That could have been very unpleasant. So there's how you don't tackle mountain passes in a somewhat underpowered truck, everyone. Take heed. Seriously? Another way station? Sounds like I've just visited the last one. Well, okay. No problem then. Let's pull in. And I shall weigh again a little bit less than last time, but again, 70,000 pounds. In fact, you know what? This is actually a good time to draw today's video to a conclusion. I am pretty much at my destination. And yes, making the 3208 sound like a 3408 is not the most realistic. Nor is fitting a marine engine into this truck. The marine engine has the benefit of effectively unlimited cool water, and we do not. But I hope that you've enjoyed today's video. This has been a lot of fun to just drive around and try and tune the engine and the gearbox to work properly. So, if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. There'll be more of these weird crazies to follow. And if you think this should make it into one of my engine packs, just drop me a note. I don't have a V8 sound, I don't think, that I can... Yeah, maybe I do. I'll have to see. Anyway, you know what to do. Thanks so much. I'll see you in the next one. Keep the cheesy sign round. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.